Yeah, welcome to SLB Drinks. My name is Kurt. This is Trenton. I'd figure I'd start you out old school, buddy. The way we used to do it.
Do we not do that anymore?
No, not hardly.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Anymore.
I did not realize that.
Now it's usually happy whatever day it is because it's usually a happy good day.
It is a very good day.
Everybody usually. Well, that is true. Now that's to see. These are good things, but yet maybe a little bad because I don't want to see you get a bigger head than what you have already. Are you okay? Oh,
I got a new shirt, so I got a tag is driving me insane.
I can't.
It's just like itching my neck.
Now, your mom would have saw me do that. She'd yell at me because I've done that many times. That little hole right there where the tag came out.
This one, slbdrinks.com. We don't plug merch ever, but I don't know where my other shirt is, so I had to take a shirt from the garage.
Did you?
It's spanking brand new. I dropped it on the ground, so it might be a little.
It's a beautiful looking shirt.
Might be a little gross, but you can find this on slbdrinks.com. Kurt's got the OG one on. It even has.
I've got to update. I'm
on the back.
You know how I am with old friends. It's just hard to get away. And the very first shirt you ever
from Custom
procured.
Ink. Yep.
The very first one.
6 years ago.
Yeah. And
crazy.
Here it still is.
And it's looking fantastic.
Trent's got some snappy new ones there with nice charcoal gray. And
yeah.
Looks nice.
Looks pretty good.
Oh, please drink responsibly in the back too.
Yeah. Huh. Anyways.
I got to get up to date here. Anyways. 1792 has come out with a brand new rye whiskey, and they're saying it's going to be a part of their core releases now. So it's a for good thing. So I don't want your head to get massive because a lot of these distilleries, once you've begged and pleaded in your show on the first of the year in January, are coming out with rye whiskeys.
And I'm glad to see that. Unfortunately, I have not gotten any proceeds from my good ideas, nor have I gotten any calls about my good ideas. So that's a bit of a bummer. This is the first time 1792 has released a rye whiskey. They did release a high rye bourbon back in 2016. I've heard stuff through the rumor mill that they have distilled more high rye bourbon and they're going to be coming out with it again. I don't know if that's still accurate. I heard that a year or two ago.
Wow.
That's
one I do not have. I do not have a high rye down here. Bourbon.
I
do.
I do.
You do. You did have quite a few of that. A lot of the lineup.
Yeah. The only ones that I'm missing from my 1792 lineup are the 225th anniversary and the port finish. I have everything else. Wow. I have not opened the high rye for some reason. I don't know. I'm not trying to wait and sell it. I just don't know what I'm waiting for. Maybe we'll toss that in a 1792 blind at some point.
That'd be fun.
And just see where it goes because they have it. That's been a decade since they released that.
That's wild.
Or it will be this October.
That's wild.
So $39.99. Like Kurt said, this is going to be a part of their regular old lineup. It said select markets. So Sazerac might not be distributing this in all states yet. I would be surprised if that's not the case considering they're massive. But you should be able to find this. $39.99, 100 proof, non-age stated, at least 4 years it says on the internets. But past that, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, and it's one thing I greatly appreciate about the 1792 lineup that the pricing is usually always efficient and fair. $40, I'm not going to complain about that.
Well, and one thing that I said too a couple years ago, and in no way am I claiming credit for this, but I said that the 1792 lineup is fantastic. Small batch, bottle and bond, full proof. 12-year and sweet wheat, not too exciting anymore. I remember the first time I got one for $29 or $30 from Trail. Okay. I was ecstatic.
I'll bet you were.
And it didn't live up to that hype.
Okay.
I think they're coming out with a 15-year, a 1 liter, tall one later this year. And then they did the Zinfandel and the other wine.
That's what I say. They did some fantastic finishes as well.
So they're kind of revamping the lineup a little bit, which I thought was cool to see.
Yeah.
So
me too.
First taste, oh my goodness.
Before we get into the aromas, guys, remember this Friday.
I'm glad you brought that up.
This Friday. It's weird because we were way off schedule. And I'm just that guy. If I'm just 1 month off schedule, my whole life changes. It's just weird. I'm like a routine guy. So we're back on our last Friday of every month schedule for live stream. So that'll be this Friday. What is 8 p.m., right? Central Time?
I think it is 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I think it is 8
been a
p.m.
while.
I believe it's 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Because our Patreon ones are 7.
Patreon 7.
8 p.m.
Yeah.
8 p.m. this Friday. The 31st. It's also Mom's birthday.
We got to think of that. We got to figure out something.
Yeah, we do.
Unfortunately, she's a little under the weather. She's actually up in bed right now. She's been sneezing and coughing. And
she's resting up for her birthday.
Blowing her nose. Yeah, I hope she does feel much better for her birthday.
Me too. I know for her it kind of lingers a little bit.
In the comments, let us know what we should do for her come Friday night at the live stream for her birthday.
That's a good idea.
That'd be fun. All right, bud.
Well, I smelled it, and it smells incredible.
It does smell very good. I'll give you that.
Very. I do get a little bit of like an expo marker thing at like the tail end of the nose.
Tiny bit. I'm getting like a Wrigley's
Yeah.
gum thing going on in here.
But it's like spearmint, but also kind of like bubblegummy, which is very interesting.
Yes, correct. That's why I said Wrigley's gum. I didn't really put the spearmint in there. I was going to get back in for a little more, but it's almost bubblegummy type.
Yeah. Definitely a rye whiskey.
Yeah, for sure.
There was no mash bill that we could find.
That I could find. If anybody knows, put it in the comments for us.
I'm sure I could ask a couple folks that I know that may know the mash bill, but I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Nah.
So
it's all right.
We'll leave this up to everybody's imagination.
Yeah. But I like it. $40. Wow. $40. That's pretty darn good.
$40.
Wow.
I really like that.
I do too.
It's definitely a rye whiskey.
You
get those notes of rye spice a little bit on the palate.
Definitely.
First sip of the day. This is 100 proof. I think it's drinking a little bit hotter right now just because it is first sip of the day.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a single bad flavor in that sip at all.
No, I've got zero qualms with that sip. Zero bad things that I could say right off the bat.
I hope they come out with a 12-year rye because they have a 12-year bourbon. Come out with a 12-year rye. Mm-hmm. We did do a barrel pick for Patreon at $17.92 earlier. Was it earlier this year already?
Oh, yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And we did get to try quite a few things that we cannot talk about.
That was very nice of them to do that for us.
And Ross was just a super nice guy. Let us try some really, really cool stuff.
Absolutely.
And I would love to see some of that come to market. I think this is an absolutely killer.
I'm digging it big time. It's layered. It has some individual flavors there. I think it's very well balanced. It did hit you with a little bit of some rye spice. As Trenton mentioned, this is a rye whiskey. For those of you that are a little bit shy to get into that true rye whiskey category, it might be a little much for you. I think that $40 though, this is an exceptional offering to try.
Yeah.
To see what your palate can handle and not handle, because per se, if it's a little much for you, it's $40.
Yeah.
It's not a high dollar thing, but for me, and especially I'm going to imagine for you and Kent, this could actually fall into an everyday drinker, even though we don't promote drinking every day. It could fall into that everyday drinker category.
100%.
At $40 for those that really love rye whiskey, like Trent and my brother Kent.
I would say after tasting 2 or 3 times, this is something that I would always want to have at my bar. Like I feel like now we have a lot of people have so much stuff just kind of collecting dust, and especially when you get into the Elijah Craigs and those like 3 or 4 releases a year, everybody's trying to collect them all. There's a lot of stuff down here. Mm-hmm. So usually when something is finished, apart from like Rare Breed and some like Russell single barrels and stuff, like what are you consistently buying again?
Right. Yeah.
I think for me, this would be something that if I ran out, I would make a solid effort to go out of my way to get another one.
I would understand that, yeah, especially for the price point. For me, I'm getting like a slight caramel. There's a little bit of sweetness right up front. To me, it doesn't really lean into a maple note as you get in some rye whiskeys, but it kind of leans a little bit into a light caramel note for me. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm sensing also a light orange note or a citrus note in there as well. I suggest it's a little bit of an orange note that I love, but I know that's not really a purely, but it's layered. It's not this. That's not predominant. It's just part of the sip. That's what I'm getting so far.
I would say in terms of orange, like I'm a little bit more sensitive to the orangey profiles and stuff, especially in rye whiskeys. This isn't overbearing in terms of the orange. I think it's not like a fresh squeeze orange or anything either. It's almost like you took like a torch and like caramelized the top of an orange a little bit and kind of burnt those sugars a little bit, because it's a little bit of a richer orange flavor, almost like not condensed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a condensed orange puree almost. It's really nice.
Yeah, I get that. For me, the sweetness is up front with that light caramel. It goes a little bit in the mid palate to that orange. In the back palate, you're going to get a little bit of that oak presence there. It possibly can lend just a tiny bit astringent on the very back end and into the finish. That's the only extremely minor knock that I can give it, and that's up to your own individual palate. Sometimes folks, it doesn't, those kind of things is very minor, doesn't bother them at all. It wouldn't bother me to buy it to enjoy this bottle. I'll
Absolutely,
that. I'm just trying to be as descriptive as I can.
The mouthfeel on this at the end is lovely. It really kind of sticks to the side of your mouth a little bit. The sweetness at the end lingers quite a bit. I think there's some rye spice at the end. Leaves my mouth a little dry, but that's like I'm
a little
really
presence there at the
grasping at straws to try and say something that I dislike about it. And I don't even dislike it.
No.
That aspect of this pour, I honestly think if you're going to go with the rye whiskey, how do you think this compares to Still Austin? Like they're just standard, because I could see this being a sipper and a mixer.
Oh, for sure.
I think there's a lot going on in this.
For me, it doesn't quite stand up to the Still Austin. However, I would also agree with you that this could also be a sipper and a mixer, an excellent purchase. You know, for those of you that don't really have specific separate bottles that you mix only with and those that you sip from, this would be an excellent candidate to fill the rye whiskey role, that's for sure. For me personally, it's just, boy, you brought up a tough name though. That's Still Austin Rye. I told him when we made our trip down to Still Austin for a barrel pick a couple of weeks ago that I've got to get their core release rye back in here. I love mixing with that core release Still Austin Rye. A lot of good to like about it for sure. So that's a tough comparison, very tough. But it knocks on the door. I'll promise.
It does, 100%. Yeah. I think this to like encapsulate what this is all about. I think this is a really solid rye whiskey. Mm-hmm. I think if you don't like rye whiskeys, I would recommend this one because it does lean a little bit sweeter. It's not quite like a Rittenhouse. That's a lot of pepperiness, a lot of bitiness at the same proof and half the price.
Now, let me interrupt you. You knocking on that door, I'll be happy to put in my 2 cents, even though you didn't really ask me to. Mm. I would much rather have this one over the Rittenhouse.
Oh yeah,
that's me.
Yeah,
you know, so that's just I don't really even carry that stuff anymore. What's the other one? The big one that people mix with all the time: Rittenhouse Rye and
Sazerac?
No, I'll think of it. You know, when you're 60, you think of it 10 minutes later. But a lot of people have it on their back bar stuff for mixing. But I would much prefer to utilize this 1792 without question. I also like Wild Turkey 101 Rye very well for mixing as well.
That is pretty good too. Mm-hmm. I honestly think this is one of the better budget releases that we've had this year. Mm-hmm. I'll say that right now without even being able to remember anything that we've reviewed so far this year. There was one other rye that came out this year that was pretty...
Old Overholt is what I was
Old Overholt, yep, yeah.
I would much prefer to have this one over that one as well.
I would agree. That's more of a really traditional rye whiskey. Their 114 is pretty good for mixing.
I'm just talking about their core.
I would love to see this at an elevated age statement and kind of make its way side by side with the 12-year bourbon, because I think this is a fantastic effort. And I'm glad to see 1792 stepping outside their comfort zone with a completely new category. I want to see them do an American single malt too. I think that'd be fascinating to see.
I wonder.
Especially after that Clearmont Steep from Jim Beam that didn't quite land for a lot of people.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Highly recommend you guys pick this up if you see it. I don't think this is just another one of those marketing gimmicks from a larger company. I think this is very good juice. Solid
effort. For those of you who have had it, please let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. I think both of us approve highly of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't normally finish my glass up here, so
we got another video to do too. Hope you're all right.
Yes, we do. The blind is sitting right below us, so check it out on Friday. And don't miss our live stream on Friday at 8 p.m.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's all we got for you today. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.